So what's the secret to getting max funding? Let's say you fixed all your stuff, you got all these little things off of your credit report that you alluded to. What's the secret to getting max funding?
Okay, secret to getting max funding, I keep harping on this, is they need to be able to know without a shadow of a doubt you're a real human being. And what does that look like? Another thing I haven't talked about is relationship managers. We've been doing this for a number of years now. So we have, and it's not just me, I'm just saying if you want to go for funding yourself, make sure you go through a relationship manager. But sort of what we do is we know we have the most aggressive bankers possible where anyone who's guaranteeing funding or guaranteeing anything in the credit space, I would be very weary of because it's an unsecured asset. It's not attached to anything. My job simply is to tilt the game in your favor as much as humanly possible. And how do we do that? Another thing is having relationship managers where if someone's going through Let's Get Funded, they go through one of our relationship managers where if you're at a bank, you get thousands of applications every single weekend. You log in on Monday, there's thousands of people that apply for stuff. If you go through a relationship manager and there's someone assigned to that file, they can be like, okay, without a shadow of a doubt, this person is attached to this relationship manager. I know that that person isn't identity theft, and your application is put on the top of the pile.
And what is a relationship manager?
It is someone who is compensated to open credit cards, to open bank accounts. They're essentially an account executive at one of these banks where their job is to get more business to that bank. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. These are all promos for you to start your relationship at these banks. That's how I started. I was a TD Bank guy. Chase Bank offered me something in the mail. By the way, never take an offer in the mail and apply for it because you're then designated under the promo section, which you'll get a much lower limit. Like there's a tag in your file, promo. And I got that, this is years ago, I got a $15,000 card from Chase. Before you know it, I'm at the bank, I'm meeting the teller, I'm depositing money there. That's what they're hoping is going to happen. They gave me to start $15,000 at 0% interest. Put some money in their bank account, let's call it $10,000. Well, guess what? Chase just got $10,000 from me at 0%
Right.
because they're going to take that money
Right.
and they're going to lend it out.
Yeah. You're the new lender.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And just for the people listening to this, I think this is very important. Break down when you deposit money into the bank, like you're essentially now becoming the lender. Like break down how that kind of works.
I mean, at a high level, the banks exist to lend out money as well. They have to lend out money. They have quotas. That's why I always say like applications for lending in like November and December, we always see a little bit of a drop off. Why? Because all these banks have already hit their quota. So if you deposit money into a bank, then they are able to turn around and put that into a syndication or put that into one of their investments. So they want your deposits. That's why they're so aggressive when giving out 0% promos between 12 and 18 months. And for all the people that see this and, because you run ads, you see the comments, it's a scam, it's a scam. What it is, very simply, is in the same way when you buy a motorcycle or a car, it's 0% APR for X amount of months. It's just that product based on the business side with lines of credit, with business credit cards that you can use for anything you want to use it for, hopefully business expenses.
And so
What's going on? If you're seeing this video, you probably are interested in credit, maybe starting your own funding company, maybe you're interested in mentorship, right? I'm gonna share my screen and just show you something that's applicable to every single person that's watching this video, right? So very frequently, a lot of people I talk to, they don't have a business problem, they have a capital problem. They need more access to capital to scale. Any business I've started where I've actually needed to use that product myself has done extremely well, right? So that's how I started letsgetfunded.com. I truly went through this same exact roadmap, right? Like level 1, I had negative credit, right? I had poor credit. Level 2, I needed to build out my file after I removed all my negative items, late payments, collections, derogatories, right? Then I was able to get non-doc business funding. Then I was able to get bank statement loans because I had a business making money. Then I was able to get tax return-based loans and SBA-based lending, right? If you need access to capital, you want access to capital, you want access to sort of just like your next step with Let's Get Funded, right? I'm the owner of the largest credit repair and funding company on school, right? And people say number one all the time, it gets watered down, but truly, like you look at the scoreboard, we're the number one earning credit and funding community on school. So click the link below. There's 5 calls a week. There's 1 call with me every Wednesday. There's also my $1.7 million funding roadmap, how I've gotten access to $1.7 million of business funding without ever providing a tax return, a bank statement, or paying a dollar of interest, and just a whole bunch of other value in there. So click the link below, tap into the community. That's sort of how you get access to me in a group setting. And of course, we have other, mentorships, and you want to get access funding directly, all that stuff. But this is really the most logical next step for you and your business. If you want to get more from me, you want to get more from Let's Get Funded. So click the link below or wherever the link's going to be, join our school community, and I'll literally talk to you on the inside. So see you there.